Fentanyl is dangerous and it has a deadly grip on our state. Coming up, the new report released today that details the impact it has on Utah families.
A group of
a few minutes. All right, that sounds great, Kristen. Thanks. A new report is shedding light onto the drug crisis in Utah, showing that fentanyl is the leading cause of overdose deaths in our state. News specialist Shara Park is digging into the new data. Shara, what else does this tell us?
Well, Dee, it tells us a couple of things, right? It tells us that fentanyl use is rapidly growing in Utah and that more prevention work and treatment services are needed statewide. This new report from the Utah Department of Health and Human Services looked at a decade of data starting in 2014, and it found that drug overdose death rates peaked in 2015, but we have stayed close to that peak level ever since. It found the highest number of overdose deaths occurred in 2023. That year, 606 Utahns died, and fentanyl was involved in 47.9% of their deaths.
Fentanyl is extremely potent, of course, so much more lethal. A much smaller amount is needed to be lethal than other drugs like oxycodone or heroin.
Well, the state found that fentanyl overdose death rates were highest among the age group of 24 to 34. For other substances like meth and heroin, overdose death rates were higher among those ages 35 to 54. Now, according to the report, most fentanyl deaths in Utah occurred with a second substance. The report states that many of the Utahns who died may not have known they were taking something mixed with this extremely deadly drug. Dan?
Yeah, some unfortunate news there. Thanks a lot, Shara. Well, today, Vail Resorts
enable notifications.
Our other top story, fentanyl, a powerful and dangerous drug, is now the leading cause of overdose deaths right here in Utah.
A new state report details the devastating impacts this drug is having on our communities. News specialist Shara Park is digging into it. And Shara, these numbers are so concerning.
Yeah, Deanie and Dan, they really are, especially when you remember that these numbers, they're people. They're our family, friends, and vulnerable members of our community. Now, this new report from the Utah Department of Health and Human Services looked at a decade of overdose data starting in 2014 and found that the highest number of deaths on record occurred in 2023. That year, 606 Utahns died of a drug overdose, and fentanyl was involved in nearly half of their deaths.
Between 2019 and 2020, we double the number of fentanyl deaths. And then we've just seen these significant year-over-year increases ever since.
Megan Brockmeyer led the research team and found that Utah had more than a 1,000% increase in deaths involving fentanyl over the last decade, making it the deadliest drug in our state. The areas with the highest rate of overdose deaths are Southeast and Tri-County health districts. Those are families living in Carbon, Emery, and Grand counties, as well as Daggett, Duchesne, and Uinta.
These are people's lives, and it's so, the impact doesn't just stay in that family, but it spreads, to community members and friends. And, there's a huge network of people that are impacted by the death of that person.
So why do we get a report like this? Well, this report tells state leaders where they need to focus drug education and prevention, as well as treatment services. To read the full report, you can visit our website, KSL-TV.com. Dan?
Yeah, very disturbing report there. Thanks a lot, Shara.
Thanks, Shara.
Washington County Police are investigating
crimes. Tonight, we're hearing from the family of a West Jordan woman found dead inside her home. Police are calling her death suspicious, and her husband is now behind bars. News specialist Garna Mejia spoke with the victim's sister and joins us in the newsroom with more. Garna?
Yeah, Deanie, well, Autumn Mercado's family is devastated. They're waiting for that investigation to play out, but tonight they want to advocate for their sister, daughter, and mother.
You can see here, obviously, from her picture, she was radiating, but not only was she radiating on the outside, she had a radiating soul on the inside.
Full of life and warmth, Autumn Mercado was the second of four sisters.
My sister was actually a bridesmaid at all of our weddings.
Her big sister, Summer Christiansen, says the 39-year-old loved caring for others. It's why she became a nurse. But her favorite title was mother.
She loved being a mom of her 3 kids. We love each other so much, and I don't know, it's just, this is hard.
Sadly, Autumn won't be here to see her kids grow up. Police found her dead at her West Jordan home during a welfare check.
I know when I got told, it fell to the floor. It's been horrible.
According to court documents, Autumn's husband, 47-year-old Carlos Mercado, told police he was just about to call. Officers found Autumn's body at the bottom of the stairs with significant signs of bruising. The couple's 2 young children were also nearby. Officers could smell the odor of alcohol coming from Carlos's breath. He told them that hours before, he left the house to buy beer at a gas station, leaving the children alone with Autumn's body. Carlos claimed he was unable to wake Autumn up and thought she fell down the stairs from experiencing vertigo.
It's been horrible, but at the same time, we want to remember Autumn for who she is and the loving soul.
Summer wants to advocate for her sister and others like her. Now, West Jordan police tell me that their investigation is still active. They're holding Carlos Mercado on failure to report a death, which is considered a desecration of a dead body, as well as child abandonment. Now, tonight, there is a GoFundMe for Autumn's children. I'll share those details on our website. Deanie?
Tragic story. Garna, thank you.
Developed in Washington County, the